In today's video, I would like to introduce you a very nice problem of Vietnamese Mathematical Olympiad, edition 1985. Here is the following information. Find all pairs as integer numbers such that we have the following equation. X cubed minus y cubed equals 2 times is multiplied by x is multiplied by y plus number 8. Okay? In fact, this is a very nice problem, but it's tricky. Okay? So the hint that I'm trying to give to this problem, try to factor out this equation and make the comparison between x and y and consider all the cases. Before I proceed with the solution, don't forget to support us with your like and subscribe. And also, if you would like to give that try to this problem, go ahead, pause this video when you worry, come back to see the full solution. Okay, let's get into the solution now. So we have the following equation. If you had the plus sign here, you would have a symmetry here. But since we have the minus sign here, that means this equation is a ruling out of the symmetry. Okay, first thing that I'm trying to do now, I'm going to make the comparison between these two variables, x and y. Let's consider the case if y equals x. I'm going to take this value and insert it into this equation to see what's given us. Okay, I will have x cubed minus x cubed equals 2x squared plus number 8 equals 0. It's giving us left hand side of this equation is positive, but the right hand side of this equation is negative, which is impossible. That means we don't have equality here. Okay, if x is superior or equal to 0 and y is superior or equal to 0, so clearly I'm going to take this term to the right hand side of this equation. I will have x cubed equals y cubed plus 2 times xy plus number 8. Since all the terms are positive, that means the whole term is strictly superior than y cubed. Okay, so this one is telling us x is strictly superior than y. Okay, let's consider the case when we have both numbers are negative. Okay, because when we try to make the comparison, when we have both numbers are positive, and try to make the comparison when we have both numbers are negative. Okay, because if you have one is positive, the other one is negative, that means the power is going towards positive one. Okay, if x is strictly inferior than 0 and y is strictly inferior than 0. Okay, by the way of contradiction, let's suppose x is strictly inferior than y. Okay, now I'm going to factor out this equation. So I have x cubed minus y cubed is giving me x minus y, factor x squared plus xy plus y squared equals 2 times is multiplied by x y plus number 8. Okay, so since x is strictly inferior than 0 and y is strictly inferior than 0, that means the product of these two numbers xy is strictly superior than 0. Okay, this one is positive, this term is positive, this one and this one are positive because we have square here. So we need to compare this one. By assumption, we have x is strictly inferior than y. That means x minus y is strictly inferior than 0. Okay, that means this term is negative. Since this term is negative, this term is positive, so that means entire left hand side of this equation is negative. Okay, this one is negative, but the right hand side of this equation is positive. That means it's a contradiction. Okay, this is contradiction. What does mean contradiction? That means x is superior. That means x is strictly superior than y. Okay, x is strictly superior than y. I mean, for all integer number, x is strictly superior than y. Okay, now I'm going to take this found fact at the top and continue with our equation. So one equivalent x minus y equals to this term, 2 is multiplied by xy plus number 8 is divided by this term, x squared plus xy plus y squared. I'm going to do the sum derivation by the way of contradiction. Suppose y is strictly superior, y is superior equal to 3. Since x is strictly superior than y, that means That means x is strictly superior than 3. This is by assumption, okay? Since x is strictly superior than y, that means the difference is strictly superior than 0. That means this term is strictly superior than 0. So I'm going to bring this one down here. This term is strictly superior than 0, is the same as superior or equal to 1, okay? If you want number 1 is included here, we are going to write like this, okay? So this one equivalent, I'm going to multiply term by, I'm going to multiply side by side. I will get 2 is multiplied by xy plus number 8 is superior or equal to x squared plus xy plus y squared. If you take a look carefully, this term is superior or equal to 3xy, okay? Because we have x minus y quinary square equals x squared minus 2 times xy plus y squared. This term is superior or equal to 0. By taking this minus 2xy to the right hand side, I will get x squared plus y squared is superior or equal to 2xy. Then by adding xy on both sides, I will get plus xy here plus xy here equals 3xy, okay? That's why I write this one is bigger than this one, okay? So now I'm going to bring this one down here. Now I'm going to cancel out 2xy from both sides. I will have 8 is superior equal to xy. Since we have x is strictly superior than 3, I'm going to multiply both sides by y, okay? That means this term is strictly superior than 3y. Since y is superior equal to 3, it will have a contradiction, because if you replace y with number 3, it's giving you 8 is strictly superior than 9, which is contradiction. Since y is superior equal to 3, that means this one is strictly superior than 9, which is contradiction. That means y not is superior equal to 3. Make x is because x is bigger than y, because if x is strictly superior than 3, is also giving you the contradiction. Because if you replace x with number 4 and y is superior equal to 3, is also giving you a contradiction, okay? So this one is telling us we have x is inferior equal to 3 and y is strictly inferior than 3, okay? So this is for the positive numbers. Now I'm going to work on the negative numbers. If x is inferior equal to minus 3 and y is strictly inferior than minus 3, because x is bigger than y, then I'm going to work on the same inequality that I have before. Even though both numbers are negative, this inequality holds the same direction that we have in previous case, okay? Because if you try to replace x as a big number, as a negative number, if you try to replace x with a minus 4 and y with minus 5, for example, as we know x is always bigger than y, this minus sign with this minus become plus. This means 5 minus 4, which is 1, is always hold this inequality as a positive inequality, okay? When we make the product of x and y, x is multiplied by y, this inequality will be flipped, okay? So becomes x is multiplied by y is strictly superior than 9, okay? Because both of them are negative. Then this inequality become like this. This is contradiction. That means our assumption was not true, okay? By the way of contradiction. That means x is strictly superior than minus 3. And also y is superior to minus 3, okay? Because x is always bigger than y, because y can be take minus 3, but x it cannot take minus 3, it takes minus 2 as a minimum value, okay? Before I go to the final step, I'm going to add this one with this one and move on to the next case, because we have another case. When we have x and y are positive, we found this solution. When we have x and y negative, we found the solution x between minus 3 and 0 and y between minus 3 and 0. So now I'm going to go to the final case when we have x as a positive number and y as a negative number, okay? Because we have to do all these three cases. So x must be positive because it's bigger than y must be negative. Okay, if y is strictly inferior than -3 and x is super equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to multiply both sides by x. I will have yx is inferior to the -3x. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Here I will have 2yx. Here I will have 6. Then I'm going to add 8 on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to take this one up here. Now I'm going to work underneath of this one. I will have y is strictly inferior than -3. I'm going to multiply both sides by x. Inequality will keep the same direction because x is a positive number. Then I'm going to add x squared plus y squared on both sides. Now I'm going to take the reciprocal of this inequality. So I will have 1 over x squared plus y squared minus 3x is strictly inferior than 1 over x squared plus y squared plus xy. Okay, then I'm going to multiply both sides by 2xy plus 8. Since we have this term is strictly inferior than this term, that means this one will become 8 minus 6x is divided by x squared plus y squared plus xy. Okay, then as we know, this term equals to x minus y. Okay, x minus y. Then this x minus y, since we have x is bigger than y, that means this one becomes strictly superior than 0. Okay, it's strictly superior than 0. Okay, so we'll have 0 is strictly inferior than x minus y is strictly inferior than 8 minus 6x divided by x squared plus y squared plus xy. Okay, since this term is strictly superior than 0, equivalent, that means 8 minus 6x is divided by x squared plus y squared plus xy is superior equal to 1. Because if I'm going to take number 1 is included with this one, so I have to put superior equal to 1. Okay, then I'm going to multiply side by side. We'll have 8 minus 6x is superior equal to x squared plus y squared plus xy. Okay, here is the following expression. I have ended with this expression. Now I'm going to take this expression at the top and continue with our problem. Now previously I was working on this inequality and came up with this expression. Okay, so if you take a look carefully, this term, as I said before, is superior equal to 3xy. Okay, so previously we proved that one, right? So we previously proved that one in the last part. Okay, so then also this term is bigger than 3y squared. Okay, because since x is strictly superior than y, by multiplying both sides by y, I will get x y is strictly superior than y squared. Okay, and then by multiplying number 3 on both sides, I will get 3 is strictly will get 3xy is strictly superior than 3y squared. Okay, that's what I get here. Since we have x is superior equal to 0, that means number 8 is superior equal to 8 minus 6x. Okay, now I have 8 is strictly superior than 3y squared, but we have y is strictly inferior than minus 3. By taking the square of these two terms, I will get y squared is strictly superior than 9. Okay, this inequality, because y is a negative number, that means this inequality will flip the direction. Okay, so by multiplying both sides by 3, I will get 27 here. Okay, that means this term is strictly superior than 27, which is contradiction. Okay, which is contradiction. What does mean contradiction? because the assumption that we put, because we put y is strictly inferior than minus 3 as assumption, now that means we are contradict this assumption. Okay, so it's telling us y is superior to minus 3. If y is superior to minus 3, this solution you will enjoin this solution that we have here. Okay, it will be the same. That means x is strictly superior than minus 3 and inferior equal to 3, and y you will have y is inferior equal to minus 3, and it will be strictly inferior than 3. So x is taking the following values. Is taking minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and y is taking the following numbers. Is taking minus 3, is taking minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, and 3 here. If we check all these numbers and replace them into this equation, you will find minus 2 not working, minus 1 not working, you will find 0 is working, because if you replace x with 0 here, it becomes 0, this one become minus y cubed equals 8, which is minus 2 cubed, which is minus 2. Okay, so minus 2 will be the solution for y. So the pair of the solution, I will have first solution, I will have x equals 0 and y equals minus 2. Okay, then we check number 2. If you replace number 2 into this equation, we'll get 2 cubed, which is 8. 8 in this side, you will have 8. I'm going to replace y with 0. We'll get 0 here, 0 here. That means we have 0 equals to 0. Okay, that means number 0 will be the solution as well. We'll find x equals number 2 as a solution and y equals 0. Okay, this is the only two solutions that we have. So I have done with problem. If you are anxious watching this one, don't forget to support us with your like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will see you next video. Bye.